Winner bracket final, Group A, everybody. So, Eternal Conflict Season 1 continues, and we're still in the group stage here. Now we have a best of 5 in our hands. So, to close out the group, we have 3 best of 5s left. We have our winner bracket final, we have, so to say, the consolation final in the lower bracket, and then the loser bracket final, and that will then determine the teams that move on to the playoffs. So now we got the Raccoons and the Gremlins. And this should actually be a pretty sick game. We had so far in this group a lot of stomps. I mean, I gotta say that the two teams that we have right now in front of us, they absolutely crushed it. They had some extremely crisp play, great performance, and were able to win their respective games without dropping a single map. And now it will be interesting to see the two of them face off against each other. So we should be in for quite a treat here. Now, keep in mind that we have 1,500 euros in prize money on the line. We have 10 teams in total. They're split into 2 groups, and the top teams will advance to the playoffs. So for now, we got on the left the Raccoons, who have really shaken up the whole power levels ever since they entered the scene, and it was quite impressive. But the Gremlins, Gavlo's Gremlins on the right, they honestly had not only some great showing here, but we had similar team constellations in the past too, and they've done well. So I'm a bit curious. I guess, like, based on traditional results in 2025, we would probably say that the blue team might be slightly favored here, but honestly at this point, your guess is as good as mine who's going to take it here. Is a pretty sick lineup that we have for the Gremlins as well. Banana on Rhaegar here, we have Nano on their end, and this is honestly like some really top level players that we're now getting to see, and it's a best of 5 too, so can never count anybody out. Keep in mind there are no draft restrictions in this tournament, so it's just standard draft, with Blaze and Muradin now taken for the front line on our first map, Towers of Doom. And also with Scorch, we don't have him on Malfurion right now. On Towers of Doom they decided to go for somebody with global abilities. There's obviously a couple of key heroes that we've now multiple times seen for players on the blue team in particular. Scorch loves to play as Malfurion when he can, not in every single game as this right now proves, but it's still his most played hero. And for the Disciple, recently Orphea and Alarak were probably the top picks. Medivh gets banned, not really a bad choice. Medivh has been used on Towers of Doom a lot. The easy portal rotations, of course, one of the key aspects, and then also the collapse into the back line with a quick portal, always nice. And we've seen also more kidnap combos with Stitches. But after Junkrat and Rhaegar, let's have a look at what the red team is now going to try and pull off on the first map, which is going to set the tone a little bit for what we're getting in the series. And we get the Vikings, nice! And Stitches! I think that Medivh ban was probably pretty good. That could have been a Stitches Medivh combo if not for that ban. They decided in favor of the Vikings, so it's been about time that we get a Viking game. There were so many games recently where we saw Cho'Gall banned, Vikings banned, all the fun heroes eliminated in the draft, and now we have some Viking action. Okay, this is going to be good. No matter who takes it here, this should be kind of nice. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that. Li Ming and Zeratul. Oh, there's going to be a bit of Viking hunting going on. But Li Ming needs to be careful. After level 16, the Vikings oftentimes become the hunters and not the hunted anymore. That stun from Olaf really empowering them to get close to Li Ming and get the damage in. But for the red team, we of course have also a final pick. They still need something to round out that format ideally, and we get Thrall. Alright, map number 1. We got the Raccoons going up against the Gremlins, everybody. And we are hitting up on Towers of Doom, our first map in the best of 5 series. The blue team on the left, the Raccoons with Disciple on Li Ming. We got Scorch on Brightwing this time. Ubi is playing his Zeratul. That's usually a treat, so looking forward to that. Lopaka on Muradin, and Morenas is playing Blaze for the blue team. Over on the right side, it is simply on Stitches with Hungry for More as his level 1 choice. We got Sadath on the Vikings. It's about time, honestly. I like myself a good Viking game. Banana H, he's playing Rhaegar. We get Gavlo on Junkrat. And then Nano is playing Thrall as the red team is getting ready for the push towards the middle. We have some of the Vikings probably split off fairly soonish, and Balog is already on his way towards the top. But everybody else is currently looking for that hook in the middle and the potential follow-up from Thrall, who can of course throw that wolf out and get some action going. Went into the Trolling Thunder on level 1, so no surprises there. Insta-stuns on Stitches, but the big boy is fine, misses the hook though. In this case we also have Christmas Stitches. It's starting to get to that season. I've actually been talking about it a bit earlier before the live game started. Today there was just some blaring alarms on my phone. You guys might be familiar with the floods that we had here in Valencia last year. They were absolutely insane, like just complete villages destroyed. 130,000 cars were destroyed, a lot of people died too. And now they have again this warning system, and apparently there's some heavy rainfall that is expected tonight and over the next 2 days. And so they were just warning everybody that there is a chance of flooding again, so everybody could get ready. So it's starting to be the end of the year, and Stitches is dressed appropriately. Lopaka able to jump out. That was also a bit of a save from Brightwing. So Scorch is dying here for his main tank. I mean, that is kind of cute. And at the same time a trade that I would always be willing to take. So yeah, seasons are changing. We're starting to get into the bad weather phase again. Stitches is already preparing for Christmas, and I think all the supermarkets are getting ready for it as well. I haven't really seen any Christmas stuff in the supermarkets over here just yet, but since we're now hitting October, I'm pretty sure that next week at the latest they're going to start up with that. And then we're gonna have the bane of my Christmas existence in the shops, aka gingerbread. So, double kill against the red team, Thrall down and Stitches, and Blaze also was eliminated. It's apparently a pretty fiery start into the game. Another Stormbolt connects, Banana H is in trouble, and in comes Li Ming and gets the kill. Well done. So that's 3 kills to 2 in favor of the Raccoons, and a spicy start into game number 1 of the best of 5. I like it. Good stuff. Now, with that said and done, we're now having Zeratul probably hunting Vikings for a majority of the game. Went into the Might of the Nerazim build with level 1 Shadow Hunter picked. Disciple, a little bit low, gets hooked, but there's no follow-up, and Brightwing was already on the case, easily jumping in. So, all the way up at the top, Mubi is starting to push that slowly out, and, well, mainly zoning the Vikings out here, more so than anything else, to be honest with you. Christmas Stitches. I gotta say, one of the best deals that I ever made for Christmas. I like the festivities. I really hate the gift giving. It's always too annoying. There's too much pressure. It's always like this. You have to have a present for everyone. You have to do this, have to do that. Totally commercialized too. Which I'm generally not against. But I really don't like it around Christmas. It's just like too much, especially if we have a very big family. 2-for-1 trade here for the red team, by the way. So good for them. So I made years ago arrangements already with my dad and with some of my best friends, and we just said, okay, no presents. Nobody is giving anybody presents. If you bring chocolates, that's fine, but no real presents, and just, you know, spending time with people that you like and love, and no pressure around gift giving and all of that. And ever since then, Christmas has become way more fun. Very enjoyable. So if anybody else hates the gift part and all the running around and trying to buy presents, I can heavily recommend that particular solution. It has worked wonders for us. No more stress, very relaxed, and very cool. We should have started with a Christmas map, honestly, now that I think about it. It's maybe a little bit too early for this too. Anyways, since we now have level 8 roughly on the corner, we have also our talents in. Thrall is nearly done with this quest. He doesn't need really too much anymore. Should be able to complete it here, honestly, now that I think about it. But Junkrat is the first one to fall. We have 5 stacks for Thrall. Can he get another one? Stitches also in a bit of trouble, and Nano is still looking for the next target so that he can complete his quest. Needs to get a bit closer for that though. You don't want to go for a range wolf connect if you can avoid it, if you're this close to completing your level 4. Stitches is sitting at 10 stacks. The Gremlins have lost a fair amount of heroes so far, 4 already. Muradin is coming in. Thrall is looking for a target and goes for it. Hits it hard and completes the quest. Nicely done by Nano. Quests are about to be completed. That also includes Zerathul's level 1. He's currently sitting at 13 stacks. And all the way up at the... Oh, there's the hook. Careful. And the follow-up. Ooh, well done. Brightwing is dead again, and Muradin has to jump out. I mean, he can take a punch, but he definitely needs some assistance from support too, and he doesn't have that any longer. So that is another altar for the Gremlins, and they are putting the red team, or the blue team, down to 28 points. So they are ahead now by quite a bit, as level 10 is available for the Raccoons. Not quite yet for their opponents though. Jet Propulsion misses from Morenas as he came in. We have also Might of the Nerazim now up. Riptire comes in for the Gremlins, and we're also getting Gorge. So it's time to get Gorge started. And then you can try and blow them up with Riptire. Have on top of that, of course, also Thrall with Sundering for some extra CC that they can use. The Vikings have been just sitting on the side the entire time and holding on to the experience. And even with Ubi chasing them, I gotta say, not too many Vikings have died. I mean, Olaf goes down here, and we have even a kill against Eric. So Ubi is now starting to get a bit more aggressive around this. He has the mobility thanks to his talent choices. But up to now, the Vikings were pretty alright. Not too many of them died here. That could change now, of course. We still have that lead in experience for the Raccoons on the other hand. And it seems that the blue team is also attempting to steal out another camp. So they're coming in, trying to take the pumpkins here. The hook! Oh my god. What the hell? That pumpkin ragdoll was just sliding across the entire map. That looked a little bit buggy to me. I'm not quite sure that happened. But yeah, that looked more than a little bit buggy. Don't think that was necessarily attended from the physics department. Another hook, another kill. We got Li Ming eliminated. And I have to say that Nano is absolutely on point with those follow-ups on these hooks. Every time you see that hook coming, that wolf is on its way immediately. So, job well done. Banana Age, yeah, with that hit now, so he's able to get another 4 shots fired. And the blue team is starting to run a bit low on points on the core. I mean, we're early in. There's always been a comeback map and always will be, but that is 24 points left against 36. So, a solid and comfortable lead for the Gremlins in the first game of the series. We'll see if maybe the Raccoons can bring this one back, but so far the entire Viking composition has been working out quite nicely for the red team. So again, the attack with Muradin moving in, hitting the Storm Bolt. They're trying to body block. Stitches is turning around, gets Scourge out, and Muradin gets pooped around, but still has his jump available and is jumping back over the wall. So no problem for him. No bell tower control just yet. And yeah, down at the bottom, Disciple is there too. Yeah, it's actually getting pretty nasty. Every single time that these hooks are hitting, you either are welcomed by a wolf from Thrall, or Junkrat is ready and is coming in with a quick trap. We had now the follow-up with the poop, so you have even more displacement going on for yourself. So there's a fair amount of CC that they can use to follow up on the hooks. And with level 13 and now ready for Simply, we have the hook range extended, and Muradin is immediately experiencing that firsthand. Gets bodied around a bit, still able to jump out, but you can just see how much pressure and aggression is coming from Simply, who is connecting hook after hook in this game so far. It's 5 kills to 4. The blue team is still slightly ahead, but the Gremlins are definitely catching up. And they're always a threat here, as you could just see. Brightwing was in trouble for just a moment. Now Zerathul keeps pushing the top lane. Li Ming gets gorged. Jet Propulsion, Sundering is out. Li Ming is able to get away. Was nicely done here. And there's another hook, and Disciple, boom, gets destroyed as we have 4 more shots fired. 20 points on the core now, and the party continues around the altar at the top right. The red team is threatening to steal all of the altars right now, and with Li Ming gone, that's of course a huge problem. The interrupt happens, but Serath can restart the channel again, and Lopaka is low, so they have to try and keep him alive, which means that Olaf can finish the channel, does, and they get the shots. So the Gremlins are absolutely running the show here with their Viking composition. Ancestral on Rhaegar, Muradin is jumping out, Zeratul is already retreating, but Muradin might not be fine here. They're attempting to chase him, there's the hook after he activates Avatar, and Lopaka is... my god, he's actually alive. He is actually alive and made it. Not bad. Good job, Muradin, but oof, that looked rough. So 5 kills to 6. We have at the top another push now for the next structure with level 15, half a level away from 16, meaning the next talents are going to hit soon TM. And the red team is really starting to take more and more control here. It's been a while since the Raccoons got an altar channel. I mean, to be honest, the only channel that they got was during the first altar phase when the triple altars were hitting. And that's quite impressive from the red team, because if you think about it, the horizontal double spawn usually always ends up in a 1-1 trade. And that wasn't the case here. Next phase is a triple altar, but finally some kills again from the Raccoons as they drop Junkrat. And they instantly hope for a follow-up. Try to go for Stitches. Everybody's clumping up. And it's Li Ming that comes in with the big kills, the resets. And she takes them all down. Li Ming, ladies and gentlemen, with big damage here. And they're able to take essentially the entire team at the bottom of the map out. So once that the kills kept coming, Li Ming was just able to get more and more damage through and really worked it. We have 10 kills to 6 and they also convert the bell tower over. So very well done. That put Li Ming into the driver's seat on the damage output too. So she's now sitting at 53,000. And this is exactly the kind of play that they need in order to bring this back. We have 6 bell towers to 2 now, and it's a triple altar phase, so they are absolutely crushing that core. If they get all 3 of these, that would be insane for the red team. The Gremlins fought hard to get to a point, you know, where they were massively ahead, but now thanks to those kills and the 2 bell towers that immediately fell, that's now 18 shots fired against the Gremlins, which means that they are still ahead a bit. But this has been more or less negated. Now we have a lead in experience for the Raccoons, and they're only 2 points behind. And this is all going to change. If this boss is really taken by the blue team, then they would be even farther ahead. So, super impressive. I mean, extremely impressive fight and follow-up. They pressured, of course, the bot and the top lane even before, so they set all of this up and created a perfect opportunity. The red team is now trying to retake all of the bell towers. They claimed the one at the top right and are now going for the one bottom right. But that was a massive blow against the Gremlins. Fantastic comeback. I mean, that was a huge 6.5 out of 10 moment right there. And for the Gremlins, that means that they have to now struggle and try and retake that advantage. But it's not going to be easy considering that they're 1.5 levels behind now. And that bell tower is still not taken. And Zeratul is, of course, continuing to pressure at the top lane again. And Balog alone is not going to be able to deal with this, not even in the slightest. Now Li Ming at the bottom is getting hooked, gorged, and killed, though. So she's down. And that allows them to retake that bell tower. So a nice little move by the Gremlins in an attempt to bring this back. Top side is extremely low, and now that the wave comes in, Ubi has a chance to take it, and considering that it's the blue team that is sending all of their heroes towards the top, it's actually highly likely that they are going to take that bell tower. And for the blue team, I mean, they might have to be a bit careful around their own bell tower at the bottom left of the map. So this could be taken if they don't rotate there quickly, but generally speaking, they're doing fine. 20s are in, at least for the Raccoons. We have also 33 stacks now for Stitches, and it's a single altar that is currently up. The channel already happened. Double altar, my bad. First channel has happened. Only 3 shots fired, though. Can the blue team also get one? 13 to 14 points on the core, and the fight is on. Blaze gets attacked right away, but also healed. Tried the jet propulsion. Couldn't land it. Sundering is out. And it seems like the red team is willing to retreat. They already got the bell tower at the bottom left. So that's 4 shots fired now against the red team as the channel has happened. And it puts the blue team a little bit further ahead. They are now at 13 to 10 points on the core. And the main reason why the Gremlins just let this one go is, of course, that level 20 talent. Where they just said, yeah, this is a little bit too juicy for us. We don't want to deal with that right now. And so they just let it go. 54,000 damage for Li Ming. Keep in mind, earlier she had 53,000 already, so she hasn't really picked up a whole lot of damage since then. Murden gets attacked again. Jet propulsion down here. Ancestral, and it's too late. Set on the small cooldown, but Rhaegar is gone. Big problem for the blue team now. For the red team. Blue team got a kill. Red team is trying to get away here and use that bell tower, but that gets converted over. Zeratul, though, falls. So does Junkrat, on the other hand. It's just a back and forth right now. They're all really going for it. Another hook is coming, but the jet propulsion stuns out Stitches, and Thrall gets pushed away, has to use Sundering again. Nano, likely gonna fall here, was looking for an opportunity to get a counter kill, which backfired on him. The Vikings are already getting busy at the top right, attempting to retake the bell tower, as the blue team is making their way across the map in the hopes of getting another bell tower at the bottom of the map. Double altar phase is coming up. Vikings still pushing. Stitches is helping out here too. And in the meantime, Muradin, they're trying to go for Olaf, but it seems like the red team has realized they won't be able to take this quickly enough. They go for the top right and claim that, but in the middle, this is the bell tower that could be lost, as the Raccoons are now moving in and trying to take at least one structure and get a bit of a trade going. And they pull it off, so it's a 5 versus 3 situation, meaning if they get both of these altars, that it is game over. But I'm not sure if we're really there. The channel from Sarath is currently happening. The interrupt from Morenas comes through. Scourge is gonna complete the channel over here. That's 5 shots fired, and now it's all up to this particular one. Nice cleanse, really well done. But the Gorge came out. Stitches still in trouble, gets the Ancestral and stays alive. And boy, did they need that level 20 on the Ancestral. He would have died otherwise. So instead, Muradin might now be the one to fall, gets boosted over into the death zone and goes down. But some of the red team's heroes also in trouble, mainly the Vikings, all of them gone, so no more Vikings in the game. It's a 4 versus 4 now on the map, and it's still all around the altar that could end game number 1 of the best of 5 series. This is gonna be the big one. But with Junkrat there, they can interrupt all day, every day. Once more Disciple with another interrupt from Li Ming. They're really drawing this out now. Another hook. Rhaegar needs to be careful. Zeratul is looking for targets, is jumping in whenever he can, but Blaze gets destroyed and is now gone. 83,000 damage, 85,000 damage for Li Ming, with 61,000 for Blaze and 53,000 for Zeratul. So we have 3 heroes currently on the side of the blue team that have essentially every single one of them, as much damage as the top damage dealer for the Gremlins, which is in this case Thrall. Another boss is up. Gremlins are trying to remove it from the map. Are moving in here immediately to try and take this one. And they will claim it. So that's then 6 points against 5 on the core. Pumpkins at the bottom of the map, pressuring the bell tower a little bit further. Shots being fired over here, and it is a... I mean, this is a nail-biter. This is only game number 1, but this is everything that we hoped for, essentially. I've been talking since the first few games in this group about this match, and for very good reason, as you can see, because this is delivering. Fantastic first game in the best of 5, and at this point, we have no idea who's going to win this. Bell tower situation is identical right now. And yeah, who's going to take it? Who's going to be able to get the victory? At the bottom of the map, that pressure play against the bell tower, that's already big. Nice hook and an immediate ult from Blaze. He is able to get out, and they hold onto that bell tower for now, but that got scary for a second. There's still some pumpkins moving through the top, and it's a double altar phase now. Now, as it stands, the game won't end here unless one of the teams gets both of them. If one of the teams is able to get both of them, then it's a different story. But that's, of course, the big question mark right now. Can they somehow pull this off? I mean, time will tell. Right now, the hook, and Li Ming is dead again. Oh, that's bad news. That is really bad news. This is not the time to lose one of your heroes. Zeratul came in, they're taking Vikings out, but play again has been used now as well. Actually has been interrupted. Play again has been interrupted, so they don't have all the Vikings here, but Blaze is dropping low. Zeratul got 1 altar, and that's 1 point on the core of the red team. But keep in mind, they will not be able to get the second one, especially now that Blaze has died too, because, well, they only have 3 heroes on the map. So that channel is happening one way or another. Seems like they're trying to get the bell tower. Won't be helping them to end the game, but it puts them on 1 point each. That's insane. I mean, honestly, this game is starting to become utterly insane. There's the shots fired, and it's 1 point on the core for both teams. What the hell is happening? It's only the first map, and it's already going absolutely bonkers. 1 point each. Crazy. Absolutely crazy stuff here. A single pumpkin is enough to win the game. A boss, an altar, it doesn't really matter. And the red team has more control over the bottom of the map. Blaze is not back just yet. And we have a pumpkin camp that is now being targeted by the Gremlins. They want to win it right here. And the blue team has to try and stop it. So, can they pull it off? Li Ming died 4 times. Blaze is now back. Zeratul is already looking. It's a double camp that they're pushing in. That's 6 pumpkins on the move. They gotta stop them somehow. Minion waves are there. Brightwing gets eliminated. Brightwing is gone. And this is really bad news. But most of the pumpkins are now eliminated. So that's the good news. Zeratul was trying to go for kills. Couldn't. Gets still hit by the slingshot and is able to make it out. Rest of the team also retreating and dodging out on the hook. But it's still a 5 versus 4. We have 15 to 13 kills. But the next altar is going to come up soon and has just been announced. Brightwing will be able to global in once that they're fighting for it. But this is, of course, where the game will end one way or another. The Altar of Doom. I mean, it's literally the final altar that's coming in. But it's absolutely nuts. 1 point for each team. And now 22 minutes into the game. And with the Vikings, we have the Gremlins taking a position around the altar spawn. They're trying to get an early kill here. Morenas is too low. And he is able to get away. No, the hook. The hook is too much for him to deal with. Blaze is dead just as Brightwing comes back in. Here comes play again. Muradin gets some heal out, but I'm not sure if they can get kills. And it seems like Zeratul is going to be the next one to fall. Ubi somehow makes it out of the fight, but Muradin gets annihilated. And so does Zeratul. That's it. That's game. That's a 5-man team wipe as the Gremlins win the fight and take victory in game number 1. What a sick first map in the best of 5 here at the winner bracket final of Group A. GG and well played. We're going to head in game number 2 in a second. Guys, if you enjoy the content, if you like the coverage here, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. It really helps to spread the videos to people that were interested in Heroes of the Storm in the past and might rejoin the game. So spread the love a little bit, help to promote the games here, like and subscribe, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of the series. Awesome first game. Gremlins able to win it. I honestly can't remember the last time that we had a Towers of Doom game where at the end it was 1 point on each side, which was pretty crazy, but well, it is the Gremlins that are able to take victory. Now we have Hanzo banned out as we're heading into Infernal Shrines, our second map in the best of 5. And let's see who is able to win it here. A little bit of a different, I mean, very different map, obviously, in the way that the objective plays out. But I gotta say, this one is gonna be fun. This entire series, I mean. That was good stuff. Now, there's no draft restrictions. Again, keep that in mind. We have Hogga as a very early pick for the Gremlins. And, yeah, it's party time. Sounds a little bit like a zoo, honestly. We have Gremlins against Raccoons. So, I think... probably shouldn't watch either one of them, but yeah. Now, Malthael banned out, Lucio banned, we get Brightwing again for Scorch. Even here, no Malfurion pick for Scorch, interesting. And we get Dehaka for Ubi. I mean, Ubi honestly has been playing mainly Dehaka and also Zeratul. Like, those are the two that he probably plays the most right now. And some of his Dehaka performances have been absolutely incredible. So he has been a joy to watch on all of these side lane heroes. And I can't wait to see what he's going to do with Dehaka now. What the team can pull off in order to try and come back into this series. Now we have Johanna and Rhaegar on the other side. And well, quick reminder, since this is the winner bracket final of the group, whoever loses here has still another shot to qualify for the playoffs. So they would drop down into the lower bracket, but can still make a lower bracket run quite easily. So, yeah, there's that. Junkrat now banned out. I mean, with all of the damage he can do from outside of the shrine, obviously. Always a good choice. And then the utility that he brings. Still very curious what Disciple in particular is going to pick here. We've seen, as I said before, mainly Orphea and Alarak from him so far. And some of those would fit here as well. I mean, both of them. Depends a little bit on how they're trying to bring the draft together. Falstad gets banned. Okay, so no triple global. They already have Brightwing and Dehaka. Seems like the Gremlins want to make sure that they're not running circles around them the entire time. But let's see what we're getting for the blue team now. What's the damage gonna be like? And also frontline. I mean, what are we gonna get this time? Jojo's already taken. There were no tanks that were banned out. Well, and the answer is we get Diablo, and we have Gul'dan. So with Diablo at the front, that means a lot of stuns into walls, and then Gul'dan for the AoE damage. And the occasional Horrify, I'd assume. Yeah, if you can catch somebody like Johanna without an Iron Skin, or maybe even Rhaegar, that would very, very likely lead to some kills. But still, Disciple without a pick. So are we going to get a triple frontline from them again? With him locking that down, or what's it going to be? For the red team, Cassia and Leo. So there's our first triple frontline already. They can use Leo for some drains. So Cassia is the only range damage dealer currently on the team. And now the Raccoons will have to adjust to that a bit and think about how they want to run this. They have Dehaka and Diablo. You can easily play that as a double front line. But if your opponent is already going for a very heavy meat shield in their own composition, then reacting to that is always a possibility. And with the heroes that Disciple keeps playing, that's an option. He goes for Fear. They go for double mage here. So he sticks true with the guns. And we have a double mage for them, which is not really all that common, but it can deliver a lot of burst damage for quick kills. So they decided against a triple front line, and instead we now have Gul'dan plus Orphea on the damage side. So map number 2 coming up. We're heading straight for Infernal Shrines here at the winner bracket final. The blue team down 1 game in the best of 5 series. We have now Disciple on Orphea. Scourge is playing Brightwing in the second game of the set. We have Ubi on one of his standard heroes playing Dehaka. Orphea starting things off with the Ancestral Strength as usual. Lopaga is playing Diablo, and we get Morenas on Gul'dan. As over on the right side, the Gremlins with Gavlo on Hogger. We get Nano on Cassia. Simply is playing Jojo. Frontline starting things off with Zealous Glare. Rhaegar going for Lightning Shield build. And then last but not least, to complete the triple frontline of the red team, we have Sadath on Leoric. So, time to see what the Raccoons in particular can now do. Can they go for that 1-1 score? Or is the red team able to extend their lead even further? I mean, time will tell. We have a Fell Flame built for Gul'dan as he's starting to take massive advantage of the early game shenanigans between the two teams here and get some decent stacks together very, very quickly. So nice for Morenas. 10 stacks already on this. Yeah, very easy pickings for him. Getting that radius increase here, and he is, honestly, if that lasts a little bit longer, then he's basically done. He's sitting at 16, more than halfway done with his quest. Dehaka, he's the one sitting at the top already. He's going to get some company from most likely Leoric soon TM. And Orphea is already attempting to take Leo down a notch or two, making the life of Dehaka a lot easier at the top lane if it comes to that. But the camps are now up and the teams are starting to make their first place for it. So we have the Khazras attacked right away. For the Gremlins, of course, this has been going pretty well so far. The Viking composition that they played in game number 1 worked wonders, and they were able to win the game. I gotta say, there were a couple of moments where it got extremely close, especially when the red team was essentially wiped at the bottom right of the map and lost all the control that they had previously. It looked like the Raccoons would just roll over them, take full control of the game, and claim it, but yeah, Gremlins never gave up, and at the end of the day, their perseverance paid off. And they did well. So now we have the red team trying to set up some small little traps against heroes like Gul'dan, for example. Even a bit more aggression in the middle is coming out as the Raccoons is still attacking here. Orphea, Disciple. I mean, again, his Orphea is fantastic. I love the mount, by the way. So we don't always have the mount synergy on them these days. I think I have to pay a little bit more attention to some of them. The Haka and Brightwing both obviously don't have a mount. And Diablo doesn't have one either. But I can still remember some of the first tournaments that they entered with that team name, where they all just went full Raccoon, and it was awesome. Haven't paid too much attention to the mount synergy in game number 1, but maybe we can have a quick look of what exactly Gul'dan is doing here. And that's a Raccoon! So, yep, we got a winner. So far, they're consistent here. Have to keep an eye out later on for Scorch, Lopaka, and also for Ubi, once that they are playing heroes that actually have mounts. But for now, at least, they're staying true to the name, and I can appreciate that. It's the details that matter, you know? First objective is coming up, and the red team is on point immediately. They're right there, and they get the lead as a result. Now, their Haka can always portal top if he needs to. You got Jojo rotating around. It's kind of the beauty when they have a triple front line. You can just leave one of them at the bottom of the map and they still have a decent middle shield at the top. But the blue team is now slowly taking over. And nice damage again from Gul'dan. And he is at 25 stacks now. So there's a good chance that he's going to complete his quest in this particular fight and then can benefit from the quest reward for the battle. They're not having a lot of success with our Shrine Minions. They're slowly starting to get some of them. But it is a Frozen Punisher that we're talking about here. And now both of the teams are on level 7 talents. The Haka is still at the bottom of the map. Moves towards the middle for another wave of XP. Try and take those minions out. 27 stacks now for Gul'dan. He's going to get more. And it is the red team that retakes control and tries to get the Punisher. So with 30 stacks, they're inching closer. Quest is completed for Gul'dan. So he's going to have a bit more to work with here. Ubi low, gets the Tong Connect and the drag. Could try and go for Cassia now. She's already dropping very low here and might be a kill. It is a kill. And that's trouble for the red team. They're so close to getting the objective, but they're losing Jojo as well from the looks of it. Simply is trying to get himself a few more stacks and does, which might actually help the team to win it here. They might be able to grab it now. 38 to 33, 36, 37. They're so close. And it is the blue team that claims it. The blue team, they take the Punisher. Rhaegar is trying to survive and gets bodied by Diablo. They were all pushing in an attempt to at least win the Punisher, and they failed and lost 2 more heroes. Huge problem for the Gremlins now. They already lost 2 of their heroes, and then they decided to just throw the rest of the team in to get the remaining few points, and they just couldn't, and now they are falling a bit apart here. They lost the wall, they lost too many of their heroes. It's 4 kills to 0, and a 1, nearly 2 level advantage for the Raccoons, who are also not stopping at the structures. They're taking down the fort at the top lane, lock in a level 10 talent, and are now in a commandeering position here. Fantastic spot for the Raccoons to be in. Eternal Feast for Orphea once more as the level 10 choice. And they're starting to take some of the mercenary camps and essentially steal them away from the Gremlins. But that one was awesome. That was good stuff right there. Big fight for them. And it was so unbelievably close for the Gremlins. Honestly, Jojo realized she would die. She realized she could not make it back to safety, so instead she just moved into the shrine area and was trying to get a few more minion stacks. And she got, I believe, 3, which puts them so close to getting the objective. And that's what triggered the rest of the team to make an effort for it, to try. And it all backfired. So they lost more heroes, lost more experience. And they might lose Hogger to the wall stun from Diablo. And that's the end. Hogger is gone. Oh, they're struggling here. That's 5 kills to 0 now. That's tough. That is a tough position to be in. Level 10 abilities are finally ready. It gives us a Hoarder pulled for Hogger. And the blue team is just in such a great spot now. Next objective could determine a lot, but This is happening on Infernal Shrines quite a bit, where you have a team that takes the lead in talents and then runs with it for a very long time. And sometimes even for the entire map, and this could happen here too. They get the Horrify against Cassia, another wall stun, and Lopaka is able, with the help of Brightwing, to take down Cassia again. So that's a quick kill right there. Push through the middle, maybe. Even at the bottom of the map, they could do a bit more damage. They get another minion wave connected there, and Diablo slowed down the rotation from the middle. That gives the team more time to take down some of those towers. Yeah, in the good old days, you would now make a play for the fountain and try and at least take the fountain out, but obviously that's not a thing anymore. So now it's all about starting to pre-damage the fort before the objective is even claimed. And that's exactly what we're getting. The wall broken, the minions escorted in, and that gives Gul'dan more opportunities to dish out damage. You have a level 13 talent advantage, of course, too. So a bigger power spike for them. Barbecue, not successful enough, not fast enough. Rhaegar was a little bit quicker with the Ancestral to get the heals through. But this is a 2-level lead still. And the Shrine is now activating, but there's absolutely no way for the Gremlins to get the level 13. They might not care, because, I mean, at the end of the day, they have to pick a fight at some point, and I honestly think it's going to take a long time for them to get to an even talent tier with the opponent. It's probably going to happen around level 16, and that is a little bit too much time to wait for. So they're going for camps at the top. Shrine is activating in a second. Shamans are claimed on both sides. Gul'dan is still playing it very safe. He's all alone. He didn't really know, okay, is anybody hiding in the bushes there? There's a bit of a bush party, and now that they have vision, he's starting to make his way over. And the red team is actually foregoing the objective. They're saying like, nope, don't care about it. Not really our problem. Instead, they're moving towards the top. They're collapsing on Rhaegar, and what do you know? That's a kill. Ubi is down. Got fully ganked up upon. But while they are pushing for structures, the blue team decided that, well, they would just go for the bottom fort as well. So it's basically just a structure trade that we're looking at. Lopaka's trying to delay them, but Brightwing is coming in, alright. And is able to jump back out onto the wave. Good for them. They're still not out of the woods, though. So the fort falls regardless. They slowed them down slightly, I'd say. But the Punisher's taken at the bottom of the map. Gul'dan already eliminated the fort. And now with Orphea moving in, they're trying to stop them from hearthing back. And they're looking to see if they can get a kill or two here. So, yeah, the Haka is back as well. Hogga is moving out. They're still getting a lick. And Rhaegar is likely gonna die here. Gets the Ancestral out, and that might have just saved him. But the isolation from the Haka has also connected. Now they're trying to go for Jojo. And during all of this, Gul'dan already moved through the wall at the bottom of the map. And now the keep is getting attacked here. So, yep, looking very, very good. Gul'dan himself, most likely, I was about to say, going to die. But Brightwing and his Z back up. As you could see, a kill against Nano here, who's still trying to deal with Diablo. And now that the Haka is there, yep, Cassia is gone. And so is the keep at the bottom of the map. So a huge success, actually, for the blue team. So, but basically, their opponents, the Gremlins, were trying to go for the top fort. The Raccoons very quickly identified that. Sent Gul'dan to the bottom fort to take it out. Kept going for the Punisher, and Gul'dan was then the only one going for a solo push, while the rest of the blue team tried to defend the top lane a little bit and slowed down the Gremlins as they were trying to retreat. Got multiple kills as the red team was attempting to get back to base, and because all of that and all the time that they bought Gul'dan, he was able to get that keep and didn't even die because Brightwing could portal back in. So that was pretty massive. That was a very nice effort by the Raccoons, and it set them even farther ahead. 2 level advantage still, 7 kill advantage, and massive, massive lead, of course, if we're just looking at the stats and the damage output. Another lick from the Haka, and it ends up with a kill. Hogga is gone, Banana Age is dead as well, and the red team is just falling apart here. I mean, they really are. Seems like they're going to try and go for game with 18 to 15. They're deciding that they can go for core, and they change apparently their mind. They go for the middle instead, so they don't want to risk too much here. I'm just saying, alright boys, maybe we don't really have the time yet to go for the core directly, but how about we're using this minion wave in the middle and push at least for a second keep and try and damage this one. And even if they can't take it out, This is a good step into the right direction for them, just taking more control here. But they should try and eliminate it, because it's going to be 16 versus 16 talents. The more you can do right now, the better. The team name actually won the Gremlins. They're the Rabid Raccoons, and yep, they got very rabid after game number 1. But here's level 16, so this is the moment where the red team can maybe bring the fight back. They need to have some good team fights in order to get there, but it could be happening. So this might actually be the opportunity to play with even talents and try and take some out. There's the Blessed Shield, Valkyrie is a follow-up, and then even the Entomb afterwards. But with all the ults, they're still not able to take Orphea out. She's still alive. Brightwing to the rescue. Ancestral had to be used by Rhaegar. All of the ults essentially are on cooldown now for the red team. Whereas the Raccoons are still looking to get a kill. And they are able to take down Cassia again. Cassia is gone. Johanna is on the run. Everybody is just trying to somehow get away here. But Scorch is also in trouble as Diablo comes in, gets the wall stun and the kill. Then they go for Gavlo. They drop him too. And that leaves basically just Leoric over here. There's camps pushing through all the lanes. As Leo gets chased, we have Gul'dan already in the middle. Leo is gone. Gul'dan is pushing. They're going to take the keep out here. But those were some sick fights. 13, 15 kills now, 2-1 and level 20 on the board with only Johanna surviving. And since there are catapults coming, there's camps coming, there's no saving this anymore. We're going to get a tie in this series. Really impressive performance in game number 2 by the Raccoons now. And this is going to be a loss here on Infernal Shrines for the Gremlins. I mean, 100%. There's no saving this any longer. The core is falling. They get their players back, but the catapults alone are going to finish the job here. And that's that. Very, very stellar, clean, and well-performed game by the Raccoons as they win Infernal Shrines. GG. Coming up next, we have game number 3 for you guys. Before we go, a big shout out to everybody that is supporting the channel on patreon.com/Khaldor. Really appreciate the support, guys. Thank you very, very much. If you want to support the channel, if you want to support our efforts to keep the Heroes of the Storm esports scene live with all of the events and tournaments that we're hosting, then please consider to check out patreon.com/Khaldor and support the channel there. It's the best way to support all of the things that we're currently doing for the scene and plan to do in the future. With that being said, enjoy the next game of the series. Game number 3, here we go. So, we have a tie. The best of 5 is as good as expected. So, yep, very interested to see how this is now going to unfold and which team takes the lead more so than anything else. It's also kind of funny to me because with the Raccoons playing, the whole background that you can see here is obviously very themed through the Raven Lord and Racencourt thing. So with Orphea now being played on the second map, that fits thematically quite well. If you didn't know, this tournament is actually hosted by the Racencourt. So we had Racencourt tournaments in the past, but that's the reason why I actually chose that particular background here. That's apparently part of the Orphea release or was used in that. So trying to be thematically correct with everything. Now, as we're heading into game number 3, we have Hogger banned out this time, and we also get a ban on Hanzo. But after that clean performance in game number 2, I'm curious what the Raccoons are going to do right now. So, yeah, we'll see. But, yeah, for now, we get a Lucio ban. It's a little bit reminiscent of the bans that we got in some of the previous games already. I mean, Hogger obviously was at least played on the last map, but now he gets the axe. Gul'dan gets locked in. Jojo is up, so depending on what they want to do on the front line, they could now pick up Johanna and take her here, which on Tomb of the Spider Queen is always nice. Jojo, Diablo, Murden, usually some of the most common picks for frontliners here. But I want to see what support we're also going to get, because Scorch has been playing Brightwing every game that he could, at least today. So no Malfurions from him so far, but there's our Johanna pick as expected. And we get Blaze together with her. So Jojo Blaze is a combo, always fantastic to have that at your front line for later team fights. And Blaze can of course very easily hold his own at the bot lane in the solo. No problem for them there either. Still keeping my eyes on Disciple and Scourge to see what they are gonna lock in here for themselves. If this is going to be the one where we're going to get Malfurion roots again. But there comes Ana. Ooh, banana with Ana. Yeah, if you don't ban Ana against Banana, then you risk Banana picking Ana, because Banana's Ana is pretty bananas, and everybody loves to ban Ana against Banana because they know that the Ana of Banana is pretty strong. So, yeah, that's why a lot of teams tend to ban Ana against Banana. But, well, it's been a while since we played her. It's been a hot minute. So, Diablo gets banned. As I said, he's also a really nice one here. But what is the red team now afraid of? What are they banning here? Somebody actually, Mixon just suggested we should get a banana skin for Ana. And honestly, you could... can you imagine having a skin for Ana where she has a banana costume? That would be incredible. I would absolutely love that. Could make so many dumb puns the entire game. It would be incredible. I'm just sitting here, and every now and then I can go for my ban Ana thing with banana. But if she actually had a banana skin, I think that would be meme factor higher than 9,000. Would be amazing. Vala gets unfortunately banned, but there's my Malfurion pick. I like it. Good stuff. Kel'Thas together with that. All right. That is interesting. I love that we're getting, first of all, Malfurion from Scorch again, and then we have also Kel'Thas. So, yeah, that Gravity Lapse. I love Kel'Thas. I personally really like him. So, yeah, on the other side we get Medivh, and we have Garrosh. Yeah, that Medivh, he was banned on the first map, and whenever you have a good Medivh player on your team, Medivh is just such a fantastic asset. It's honestly crazy. So, with that, we are picking up the final pick. Again, they had a double mage previously, could technically do it again, or aim for that triple front line, but Kel'Thas is the only range damage dealer. Is that really going to be a thing for them here? I mean, it is Tomb of the Spider Queen, but still. And there's Alarak. So I told you, it's Ophir and Alarak currently for Disciple. And he locked Alarak in again. That brings us to game number 3, everybody. Tomb of Spider Queen. Let's go. The Raccoons starting on the left. Now the series is tied. We have Disciple on Alarak going again for the extended lightning build right here. We got Ubi on Blaze. We got Morenas on Kel'Thas. Scorch on Malfurion. And Lopaka is playing Jojo. So really nice lineup for them. Kel'Thas is the one hero that really stands out a bit. Not a typical pick that you see when there's no draft restrictions. On the red team side with Gavlo, we got Nanunau and Gul'dan playing also Pursuit of Flame on level 1. We got Simply on Garrosh, Sadath on Dehaka, Bananas playing Ana, and Gavlo is playing Medivh in game number 3. So, time to find out which team takes the lead in this best of 5 series. Who's able to pull ahead here? Who's going to be the one that makes the moves? Right now, the first thing is that Blaze is being put to sleep here. So yeah, a little bit of a slumber party with Blaze just taking a little bit of a nap. So I think it's the Spanish version of Blaze. Napping, definitely pretty big here too. And look at that, nice Nick follow-up. Disciple's in trouble, and that's first blood. So he goes down, pulls a Lauba, killed before the 1 minute mark. And even Lopaka is in trouble. There's a lot of body blocking going on. They're stopping him again. But the Iron Skin was available once more, and that saves Jojo. But that was still a very good effort from the Gremlins to get themselves a second kill. So, yeah, not too bad. Down at the bottom of the map, in the meantime, Sadath is ooh. Hey, we have a lot of really nice connects there from him. Yeah, job well done. So, stacks are slowly going to come together here for Medivh, for Kel'Thas. We have also Jojo with Laws of Hope on level 1. Laws of Hope is actually pretty important as a talent on this map potentially, because you can get so many globes that it's a lot of self-sustain that you're going to get if you stack that properly, and that can really help you. Very nice CC chains too against Garrosh. Not enough to get a kill, but they're definitely making his life a lot harder, and also apply pressure to Medivh, who of course has to be careful. And check that out there. Down at the bottom of the map, here in the middle, we have the next fight coming in, and another lick, and the follow-up from Garrosh. So the two frontliners working in tandem to get another kill against Alarak. So far, he didn't really have a whole lot of sadism to lose, so it's not that big of a deal. But that's not the second time that Disciple has died. And while Disciple usually has a pretty big impact in the games, he is also killed quite a bit. I mean, he played Li Ming in game number 1 on Towers of Doom and was farmed there a bit, and I think especially towards the end that might have been one of the reasons why they started to lose a bit of control. But now on Alarak he died twice. That's 2 kills in total for the red team, and once that he accumulates a bit of sadism and also gets 4 stacks, he will become a bigger and bigger asset of the team, and then him dying is going to be a problem. So we'll see how far this goes. Medivh, by the way, is having an absolute field day. I mean, we're barely 3 minutes into the game and he's sitting at 30 stacks. So for Gavlo, this is going extremely... Oh, no, no! No! The caster curse has hit with all its might. No, look at it. He was at 30 stacks, basically. And then he drops down. I don't even know why. Gavlo, what were you thinking? Look at this, he just drops down from the skies and he's just like, I got this. I can't believe he died there. Like, why would you do that? You're at 20... look at it again. Look at it again and check out how he's just completely unharmed and then drops down in front of a 5-man. He has full vision and drops down straight into them. I'm like, no, not with 29 stacks. You can do that if you have 39 and you're super confident that you're going to get that hit off. But, boy, that is a setback. Yeah, that is rough. 5 stacks now on level 4 for Alarak, but that's brutal for Medivh. Now, the red team still has a bit of a lead, and they're also getting the first Web Weaver wave, so they get the turn in. But, boy, that hurt. 18 stacks for Khaldor, so he's nearly done with his quest reward. We have 13 stacks for our girl Johanna, so, well... we're getting some value out of this too. Also, talking about Johanna, bit of an adjustment as well on level 7, going into Steed Charge. As we now have Alarak again with another couple of hits. They're trying to defend against the Web Weavers, of course, now. And Medivh is back to stacking. I still can't believe that he died. He was doing so well. 3 minutes in, 30 stacks, and then just bam. Full on Sudoku mode. And he goes down, so yeah, that's that. Anyways, quest completed for Khaldor. He's gonna stack that obviously more, increase that even further. But good for him that he already has that shield available now. That's really gonna help. Uh-oh, uh-oh, that is a dead Disciple. Didn't lose a lot of sadism, he lost 3. But that's 3 kills against Alarak. The blue team has 3 deaths and they're all from Alarak. That's what we're looking at right now. That first Web Weaver wave did some work at the top. The other lanes were basically safe. We still have enough gems easily for the Raccoons to get themselves their own objective. Don't have it here just yet. Lopaka has to be careful though. With 26 gems, he is definitely a high priority kill if they can get it. But at least all of that time spent in the middle and threatening a turn-in is allowing Blaze to get the Siege Giants. The Haka came in a bit too late to interrupt them here. So, there's that at least. Yeah, Disciple still looking for opportunities on all of this. But as we already established, he has to be a bit careful. And Gavlo is just flying around right now. Playing the safe. Guarding the 14 stacks that he currently has. 32 now for Lopaka. Medivh gets another hit. Good for him. They're struggling to get the turn in. That's the problem if someone like Medivh is providing portals and vision the entire time for the opponent's team. But as I already said earlier, there's a lot of CC, and now they're trying to go for Garrosh since the portal is gone. The ley line had to be used in order to prevent that from happening, but they commit with a Blessed Shield, and I think that's a bit too late. Yeah, the portal cooldown is back up, so Lopaka got maybe a bit too trigger happy there, using the Blessed Shield in that situation with some of them still trapped in the ley line. Maybe not the best move there, but that's a cooldown burned that they're gonna get back, I guess. Sleep Dart again. It's not only the blue team that has CC. So we have again Jojo trying to get that turn in, and another kill. Alarak death for the 4th time, and this time they're getting Jojo as well. And they protect the gems. That's a setback. That's a very, very bad big setback. Morenas is getting hit too. 13, 14 gems that he had. Looked for a second like he was trying to go through the portal. Would actually be kind of funny if there was some kind of like hack or ability or whatever else that you can go through the opponent's portal. That would be funny as hell. If you had to, I don't know, pay a price, like 50% of your hit points or whatever, something silly, and then you can use the opponent's portal. Like, the opportunities would be endless. But there's the second turn in, so this is pretty good for the Gremlins. They killed 2 heroes that were carrying a fair amount of gems. They now destroy the fort at the top without their objective. And since they are getting these kills against Alarak, it also means that they're keeping him low in sadism and low in stacks on his level 4. So right now, things are working again for the Gremlins. Quests, yeah, well, there's a ley line again. They're trying for more kills. Morenas is dead! Alarak completes his level 1 at least, but they're losing 2 of their heroes. So I'm not sure if that's really a trade that they will consider worth it, given the fact that those web weavers are still active and they are likely going to lose more structures now. And all of this is obviously coming with an opponent that already is level 13 talent, so there's a lead in experience too. This is getting very difficult for the Raccoons. Very nice back and forth series too. We talked a lot about how close game number 1 in particular was, but now we're also having some absolutely crazy games, with map number 2 being more of a solid controlled play by the Raccoons, and game number 3 turning into a bit of dominant performance. Might be exaggerating things, but it's still a very strong game from the Gremlins. So they have taken 2 forts out. They can probably take the one in the middle too. So they're not quite dominating this fully just yet, but they're definitely on their way. They are 7 kills ahead. They're more than a level ahead. Structurally, they are doing well. There's still the chance for the Raccoons to complete a turn-in and maybe gain some momentum now that they have level 13 talents and are on eye level. But unless Alarak is starting to rank up the stacks and the damage, it's going to be difficult. Khaldor alone is just not going to dish out enough damage. He's at 14,000. Compare that a bit to what we're seeing from the red team. 36,000 for Gul'dan, and the other heroes are also quite high up there. So this is bad. Ana is the only one that has less damage than the highest damage dealer on the blue team side. Let that sink in for a second. So that needs to change, and he needs to change soon, or the Raccoons are going to have a tough time. There is such a thing as fake damage, and a lot of the poke damage that we're getting from Lunara, from Hanzo, that's what people usually refer to when they're talking about fake damage. I mean, it's not really fake damage, it is damage. The question is just always, is that damage meaningful? Does that damage lead to kills? But if you're so far behind in the damage output and you don't have any kills to speak of either, then you know that you're in a bit of trouble. So yes, Alarak needs to step it up here, and he's currently already doing that. But they need to get a lot more than this. There's 19 stacks now. They're looking for combos from him. But they cannot get that turn in. They cannot get that kill either. I mean, the two are basically connected. Once that you start getting your kills and you have a numbers advantage, you can also work on those turn-ins. But so far it's been only the Gremlins that get kills. And there is only a single turn-in. With all of the gems lost previously, as Malfurion and Joanna both died, we have now only a single turn-in available for the Raccoons. So it's not like they can go for a double turn-in. With level 16 talents, boss is taken, so now I guess the blue team can get that turn-in. The problem with this is that it's going to be a trade. It's a boss defense against the Web Weaver defense. And the Gremlins are totally okay with it. They let that happen. They were like, yep, we're totally fine. Get rid of your gems. We're going to get the boss. It's going to push. And then we have a freebie defense against your objective, and your gems essentially did nothing but give you a bit more space on the map itself. So that's what this is essentially going to amount to. Right now we have the attacks coming through the middle. They're starting to make their play there. Yep, that's going to be a Web Weaver that gets taken out. Up at the top we have still the boss going for the keep, and that beast is doing damage. That bad boy is going to do some damage right here. As in the middle, we have portals set up. There's still that fort that could technically be taken, especially since the Web Weavers are all eliminated, with the exception of the one at the top lane. That's the only one that hasn't been destroyed yet. But that's going to be an easy exercise for them. So, yeah, Gremlins are going to be moving in for that. They're not going to take a lot of damage on the fort, if any. 29 stacks for Jojo. So she's getting there with the extra heal amount that she's going to get. So good for her at least. Sustainability for Jojo, that's the thing. Khaldor slowed down a bit on his own stacks, I guess. But 34 isn't too shabby. 20 stacks on level 4 for Alarak. So again, he needs to be the one that gets the numbers high and helps Khaldor to get damage out. The CC is there. I mean, they have amazing lockdowns against the opponent. Another turn-in attempt, and this time they got enough gems there. I mean, everything that you can secure is already a win. Don't want to lose more to the opponent. 16 talents on both sides at least, so that's good. Yeah, nice check on the bush, making sure that they're not falling victim to a garage flank. Camp up, and more turn-ins from the red team, and that is a Webiver wave. Yep, they're gonna get it right here. Well done. 30 stacks for Gavlo's Medivh. So he is basically now where he was earlier. Took him 10 minutes and he's at the same stack amount again. Oh, can he get a kill here? Leyline is out, and that allows the Haka to get away. Also throws away here. Pretty easily, no problem. Horrify against Blaze. Uh-oh, and Ubi gets out, but that was dangerous. Can't afford to lose Blaze in that situation. So yeah, Blaze gone. Right now we have the fort in the mid lane that gets destroyed, so that's another fort eliminated. We have now Webweavers at the top, down at the bottom of the map, all of them pushing hard. And the red team is essentially just deciding where they want to pick their battle. Seems like the bot lane is going to be where the main action is. With a bit of pressure still in the middle potentially, but nope, they are deciding to go through the bot lane and try to take the keep out here. So yeah, slowly making that play. 36 stacks now for Medivh. It's nearly done with it. 29 stacks for Alarak. I mean, he is increasing his damage. It might just be too little too late. If you look at the minimap, there's not a single fort that has been lost on the side of the Gremlins. To be fair, though, this is the third turn-in now for the Gremlins, and yeah, they are not able to break through those keeps, but they have a 2-level lead nearly. And once they hit level 20, I think it's going to be very tough for the Raccoons to bring that back. So it's going to be super difficult. It's all about now getting more stacks, more damage, get a bit more sadism here. Alarak is sitting at 93, has 29 stacks. We have 36 stacks for Johanna, so for her at least the survivability is there. But the team is for sure struggling to get a proper foothold here. They still have 71 gems, that's an easy turn-in if they can buy that time. But the blue team is now trailing in XP so hard that the Storm Talons will be available for their opponents in a moment, and then it's just a matter of, hey, what exactly can we now do to catch up? How long can we actually just sit there and eat dirt? Because that boss is back up in 50 seconds up at the top, and of course the Gremlins are gonna try and force a fight. They're already moving in. Jojo with the Iron Skin. Leyline is hitting, yeah, connects with 2. And let's see if they can play that out. Nope, Disciple is still fine, gets a combo off. That's all that he's able to do. Get a few more stacks for your level 4. And more is essentially not in the cards just now. The good news for the Raccoons is that there are not enough gems for the Gremlins to get another turn in. That boss will be up in half a minute though. And they're still defending. Defending. Trying to not die. Blessed Shield thrown out there. Horrify! And bye-bye Jojo. And that is 30 gems roughly down the drain. They still have enough for a turn in themselves, but this is obviously not great. They are doing a good job with Khaldor though to keep him at bay, so they're pushing them back. And as long as Alarak and others are able to stack a little bit, it's not a total loss I suppose, but it's also not a big win either. Medivh is 2 stacks short of completing his own quest. Alarak is now at 25,000 damage. Nothing really to write home about. That puts him on the same level as the Haka basically. We have Khaldor on 31,000. And the boss, after spawning, gets attacked immediately. So, yep, that's exactly what we expected there. Nothing that they can do here. Not even a turn-in. Khaldor is just checking, flying around, securing vision. And that top keep is gone. Shouldn't be able to save that. Core, different story. Saving the keep. Nah. Blaze still sitting in the middle though. He wants to get the experience for the team to at least have level 20 here, and they're burning the minion wave down now too. So that should get them very, very close, but since they haven't taken any structures out, there's no big passive experience gain that they get through this. So they're getting close at level 20, but Blaze had to move down to the bottom of the map now as well to get another minion wave. And that boss is actually still fairly healthy after taking the keep out. And they still don't have level 20. Blaze is back, no level. There it is, Storm Talons, finally. Is it too late? Is it too little too late here, or can they turn that fight and that situation around? Red team is dropping a bit low. Shield from Medivh. Garrosh is alive. Boss is on the core. Alarak is low too. 38 stacks for him now. Big heals from Alfurion as he's trying to keep everybody in play. And the boss will soon fall, but the shield is gone and the core is losing hit points. But the red team is starting to move back out of the fight. They've done big damage. They've took the core down to 69%. Nice. But, yeah, they weren't able to end it. So now it's 20 versus 20. And there's still a few gems left. But the Raccoons, they've been holding on the entire time. They really dug their heels in and were just refusing to give up on the game. There is still not a single fort that got destroyed on the Gremlin side. So it's time for the blue team to make something happen here. If they don't get some structure soon, then it's really going to be all over. And there's another turn-in. Number 4 now for the Gremlins. Turn-in number 4. Boah. I mean, good luck handling that. The hits, they just keep coming, and the Raccoons can only defend for so long. If they're somehow able to fend off this attack as well, then they have a moment of reprieve. But, yeah, they need to dig deep on this. Because, yeah, we got the damage in from Alarak slowly. But look at Gul'dan, for example. 75,000. I mean, he is topping everyone else. Leyline is out once again. Disciple is creating a bit of space to Gul'dan. Also, little sleep dots from Ana. No joke either. Can they save that keep? That's the question. Doesn't really look too good. Keep is taking lots of damage. 50%. They want that. Here comes the flip. Lopaka. The Horrify, and Johanna is dead once again. The nano boosted Gul'dan, able to get the damage out, and that's the end of the keep. The bottom keep is also trailing, and I think this is where the game likely ends. I mean, this is not looking good for the Raccoons. The Gremlins are still pushing. They're dropping a bit low on some of the heroes, so they need to be careful too. But Disciple is getting targeted again, and gets murdered. That's 2 down, only 3 defenders left. Nice moves by Kalthas, but not enough. The shield on the core is already falling, and the Gremlins are looking for that 2-1 lead in the best of 5 series. The catapults are packing a punch and homing in on the core. The team is right there, 12 kills to 2, and that is game. The Gremlins take the victory on Tomb of the Spider Queen. GG. Match point, game number 4. So the Gremlins were able to take the third map. They took Tomb of the Spider Queen. And funnily enough, we actually had the blue team instantly host the map. Didn't waste a second. I came out of the lobby, out of the game, and had the next lobby already up right there. And yeah, they want to go to Dragonshire. So they gave up first pick, first ban. They gave it to the opponent, and they just said, hey, we want to make sure that we're going to play this one out on Dragonshire. So I'm excited. I want to see what they're going to do here. If they have some special picks, or if they're just resorting to the normal stuff. And I also am a bit curious if we're going to see some more deviation from Disciple. As I said, in this tournament in particular, he's mainly been playing Alarak and Ophir, and that spell hasn't been broken yet. So he has mainly played those two. So let's see if we're going to get a little bit more here. Malfurion also didn't work quite well for Scourge. Even with Medivh initially having that problem that he got killed at the 3-minute mark, I still have to say that all of the portals and shields that we got from him were working very well for the team, so good on them. But yeah, right now we got Hoggar and Chromie banned. Sansa gonna get banned again? No, Genji this time. It stays in the family. The ban stays in the family, so they go for the other Shimada. But still, like, some of the core elements that we're getting in the ban pattern here still remains. So that has not changed at all. And after Chromie was banned against Nano, now of course you have to ask yourself, do you want to ban Hanzo as well? But they stick it out with the Lucio ban that they have prioritized over the last couple of games. So, yeah. And that leads us to a Hanzo pick. That's the other ban that they were thinking about for sure, targeting Nano even more so than just banning out Chromie. They decided that they still want to eliminate Lucio more so than Hanzo, and the red team then says, okay, then we immediately pick that. So, yeah, good for them. But, well, with that, we now have the opportunity for the blue team to lock in a bit of a front line too. I mean, there's a reason why they're playing Dragonshire, so I want to see if that also includes some different heroes for them. So far, it doesn't really seem to be the case. Rhaegar's going to help them with mercenary camps. Muradin can always jump out from any kind of bush. And Muradin has essentially been played on this map since the HGC days. Was always a high priority pick. I mean, always. Dignitas, JPL, love to play Muradin on Dragonshire and played it a lot. So, yeah, we will see how much of an impact that has now for Lopaka and what kind of follow-up they're going to go for here. I mean, they played even Muradin Tyrande in some games. Obviously, here they prioritized Rhaegar, but still just saying. Now we get Malfurion on the other side, and we got Jojo. Yeah, which brings us to the next and the final two bans here. Now, this could all go to game number 5, obviously. But if the Gremlins are now able to win another one, then they would move on to the playoffs, and the Raccoons would have to play through the lower bracket in order to get there. So, we'll see. Tracer gets banned. Quite a few Overwatch bans right now. And they're eliminating Zeratul. Yeah, Ubi has been playing either Dehaka or Zeratul in most games, and his Zeratul was very impactful whenever he locked it in. So now they don't want to deal with that and ban him out. Well, it's a bit of a respect ban. I like it. Does that mean that they're going back into Dehaka, or do we get a different top laner for them now? Nobody has taken the side laner yet. Blaze is up too, of course, but there's Dehaka, so there's our Dehaka pick for Ubi, and we have even a second global with Falstad coming in. So Morenas is going to play Falstad, can create a bit more pressure globally, fly in, help out on a lane. So yeah, we'll see how that one works. But that means that for the red team, we have now to decide who wants to go up against Dehaka here. Jojo Blaze would be nice. It's been played previously by the opponent. So if they lock Blaze in, that's always a good pick here. Oh, Samuro and Rexa. Okay. I prefer that quite a lot. Now we have our triple front line. We get the King of Dragonshire, Rexa. He's back. And we get a Samuro pick on top of it. I like that. That leaves us again with Disciple. He's oftentimes the last pick for his team. So we'll see what exactly Disciple is going to pick up now for the blue team. Dragonshire, again, first match point for the red team. It's map number 4. Could be the last one for the series. And we'll find out right now. It's again Orphea. Once again Orphea for Disciple. Let's see if that's enough to win game number 4 and force the final map of the series. So Disciple chose again one of his key heroes, and probably the one that he's the strongest on too. Disciple with Orphea for the Raccoons. We got Scorch on Rhaegar. Muradin is played by Lopaka. Morenas on Falstad. Muradin essentially. And we have Ubi playing Dehaka. Over on the right side of the map, the Gremlins with Nano on Hanzo. We get Gavlo on Rexa. Simply is playing Johanna Sadath on Samuro. And Ben Nana H is playing Malfurion for the red team. This is for them a big opportunity. If they win now on Dragonshire, then it is a game. They move on to the playoffs. Don't have to bother with the group stage matches any longer. And would send the Raccoons down into the losers bracket, where of course they can still make that run. But we'll see. Yeah, for now, back in, Scorch. Muradin, Stormbolt, but only against Misha. Gets a Misha Stormbolt, identified the biggest threat on the team, and then lands that Stormbolt with precision. Nobody dying this time, so just easy rotation. Samura is the one to move towards the top lane now. I would have assumed that Rexa is honestly going to take that spot, but for now it's just like Samuro moving around there. We got Way of Illusion on level 1, we also got the Simple Geometry. Middle of the map. Still some attacking happening as Morenas is now starting to again push this out a bit. Has to be super careful and can't go too far out on lane or he's going to get killed. But Lopago is also sitting at the side and protecting him, so it wasn't really too big of an issue. If anybody would have been baited, though, there would have been carnage on both sides. Ubi now with Dehaka starting to move in, as we have also Morena saying hello real quickly. With the globals, they have a lot of mobility on the map that they can use to try and take these lanes out. I'm honestly really curious to see how the new patch, once that it's dropped, is going to affect pick patterns too, because globals could theoretically get a higher priority because it allows you to just be more present on those side lanes and get the experience after the XP globes have been reduced in duration and are down to 6 seconds, I believe, before they disappear. So that could have a huge impact on how important global heroes are, and obviously also how you're playing your side lane just in general. But right now we got control at the bottom of the map on the objective. We have level 4 talents kicking in. For the blue team, there's obviously a lot on the line here, and with now both of the objectives controlled, or both of the shrines controlled by the blue team. We have Samuro trying to be a little bit sneaky with success, and we had the protection in the middle. Falstad is able to dodge on the gank though, but there is still pressure at the bottom, and Misha falls. Misha is eliminated. Rexa is just a little bit sad here. I still think there should be some kind of add-on. Oh, well, Furion gets eliminated. He might not be the only one. Falstad barely gets out. Jojo not able to get that kill. There should become some kind of add-on or talent or whatever that Rexa can use Misha as a mount. Gets the quest completed though. Hashtag worth it. Hey, that is, in my book, that's a win. If you die on Jojo but you complete your level 4, that's a win. That's going to serve you for the rest of the game. And that's massive. So, good for them. They are completing Subdue, and this is going to essentially give them a stun on Punish. So, yeah, that's amazing. That's absolutely incredible. For Jojo, especially early on when the death timers are so low, that's a win for sure. So, nicely done. But right now, we got all the way up at the top Ubi moving around here. Sadath, yes, again, aggressive. Still in the middle. Next little attack. Disciple also has to be a little bit careful here. Falstad, they're trying to go for Rexa apparently. Comes in with a fly, but Stormbolt gets soaked up by Misha, so no problem for Rexa here. It's again the double control for the Raccoons, who are playing a very, very controlled game around those side lanes. They're really pushing for one shrine control after another in an attempt to get themselves a Dragonite, and they chose the map. I mean, they locked it in super quickly and wanted to rush this. So right now things are working for them. We still have in the middle a bit more aggression happening here with Ophia. Hanzo also completing his quest. Nano, of course, and one of his best heroes now too. As the Haka has to retreat again. Yeah, Ubi a bit low on this. But now we got Rega also with the next camp. Is applying a bit more pressure down at the bottom of the map. And we haven't had that much camp clear from the red team in the first place, if I'm honest. So there is still pressure through the top. But Ubi alone is not going to be able to deal with it. I expected Falstad to maybe even fly up. Hasn't done that so far, so Ubi is still all alone here. But they are at least getting counter damage down at the bottom of the map, so they're trading essentially in structures. Now that tower is already out here, and it's a duo that is pushing Rexa back, and those siege shines are helping a lot as well. It's 2 kills to 0 for the Raccoons, and they have a 1 level lead. So this is working very well for the blue team so far. They're looking to get a kill in the middle against Nano. Are not able to get the kill, but they should be able to get the Dragonite now. Unless, yeah, the interrupt connects, okay. But they can still, nope, they cannot get that Dragonite. And Samuro is retaking control at the top. Well done by the Gremlins. They're still holding on as best as they can, but level 10 will soon be ready for the Raccoons. If the blue team wins this, we're going to a 5-mapper, and there's kill number 3 for them, and also level 10. So this should allow them to get a Dragonite if they're eager for it. They can go to the top and retake control. Down at the bottom of the map, Disciple, yeah, starting to move around with the team to steal the siege shines off the red team away. Should be able to get that. Jojo says hello. Malfurion checked it out, and then they're realizing, yeah, this might not be the best idea that we had today. Maybe we should let that one slide and let them have the siege giants, and that's exactly what they're doing. But they still force that fight here. Yeah, Muradin is getting attacked. Lopaka is low. Jump is already on cooldown, and they take the siege giants fairly easily. And they actually get level 10 now. So they were delaying this very well. Get level 10 together with it. That gives us also the Illusion Master for Samuro. Falset is also moving to the top again. They want to maintain that control if they can. For deal with Samuro, if possible. Down at the bottom of the map, another fight breaking out as we have double control. Maybe Falset could even go towards the middle and try and take it. Flies to the bot lane. They want the kills here. They go for Jojo. There's the gust, and Banana Age is gusted a bit deeper. Deep enough to get them another kill. That's 2 heroes down. Samuro is taking top control again, but they lost a lot down at the bottom of the map. And while Dragonite is not immediately in the cards for the Raccoons, they can now go for the fort at the bottom of the map, and they will take that out. That's too many heroes that just died on the side of the Gremlins. So the first major structure that gets eliminated is the bottom fort for the red team. And with, yeah, still a couple of seconds left, they could potentially take control over the top shrine again and maybe go into the middle to get themselves a DK. But the red team is back with everything that they can field and will make that difficult. But since they are still active essentially everywhere, they also were able to take a camp at the bottom of the map. So that Bruiser camp is going to move through. And with the double control, the pressure is once again on. In the middle, we have the Gremlins just protecting the dragon statue. But also Samuro aiming to retake top. Gust had to be used. Still no kill for the red team. They still haven't gotten a single kill here. Not one. So yeah, 5 kills to 0. Serdath gets attacked here. And is slowly starting to get back out. We got 13 on the board. That is an extra talent for the Raccoons as well. Yeah, and well, down here, Disciple. Yes, they're all trying to go for the Dragonite right now. I mean, they already have pressure at the bottom of the map that Jojo has to deal with because of the camp that they took previously. Now Rega is able to finally lock it in, and they get a kill instantly. They take down Hanzo, 6 kills to 0. Dragonite is starting to work the mid lane fort, and they are looking to steal away the camp at the top too. So they are stealing a ton now. They are going for Misha, trying to get a kill. The Tong connects. Rexa is gone. 7 kills to 0 all in all. And of course the pressure in the mid lane with the Dragonite at the top with the camp that they just took. So for the Gremlins, this is starting to get a bit difficult. They still haven't gotten a single kill. Can still happen, but there's a lot of good arguments for the Raccoons being able to force game number 5 now. A lot of forts that are destroyed, more pressure that's happening. The Global's doing a fantastic job to control the macro game. And now the wall at the keep is destroyed. Jojo is able to get the Iron Skin out and not get punted across the map. But still eats some damage from Orphea here. But the team is ready. So they're trying to flank in with Rexa. Arrow connects with 2. Rega. And he gets the Ancestral out. Falset is here. Doesn't even have to use the Gust immediately because they're trying to turn the fight. And they do, as Rexa gets kicked. And now it seems that Johanna is going to be the next target. But she's able to get out. Johanna is able to get out. Rega's a little bit low. It's a 5 versus 4. And the Haka is now pushing the bottom of the map. And the blue team is about to hit level 16. So another talent advantage for them. And they are 2.5 levels ahead. Another hit on Nano. And bye-bye Hanzo. Hanzo is gone. 9 kills to 0. So yeah, they're crushing it here. And we're barely 10 minutes into the game. And already we're talking about the keep in the mid lane of the Gremlins. So 15 seconds for Hanzo to come back. But the team is pushing this one hard. They really want this now. There's even catapults involved already. So with a little bit more range poke, they should be able to lock this in easily. And they really should push for it, but it's not enough. They don't want to risk dying. It's a shame though. I mean, this is really, really close. But they ran out of minions. They're pushing the next one in as is. So, yeah, maybe now a chance. Started to move down towards the bottom, trying to take those siege shines away. How much did they actually get in minion experience? Sorry, in mercenary experience. 2,000. I mean, now that the siege shines are about to be taken, that's nearly a 2,000. It is more than a 2,000 point gap between mercenary XP. That's wild. I mean, look at the XP gap between the two teams here. Passive experience, minion, mercenary, hero experience, structure experience. That's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous how far ahead they are on everything. So, yeah, that's big. and it's difficult for the Gremlins to bring this back. So now we have the top attacked further. Morenas, they go for the Stormbolt with Murden, but they are not hitting Samuro. Instead, big arrow, and finally the first kill. Round of applause here. Round of applause. That was a good one from Nano. Nice arrow connecting with the Haka, and that's finally a kill for the red team. I mean, it took them long enough. It took them 11 minutes to get that kill. So, absolute eternity, but they made it happen. Is it the start of the comeback, or just... yeah. Just... oh. They really want Falstad, don't they? Falstad is getting absolutely swarmed. And instead, it's Hanzo that dies. Yeah, it's not only the blue team that is present here. Red team is also present with a lot of heroes, but they're losing way too much. So Hanzo got murdered, and it seems like Malfurion doesn't make it either. Skullcracker slows him down, and then Falstad comes in and gets the kill. So, as it just seemed for a moment as if the Gremlins might be able to bring this back at least a little bit, they're now losing ground again. Samuro retook the shrine at the bottom and is denying another Dragonite for now. That doesn't change the fate of the fort at the top lane, which is now falling. So, this one's gone. And in the middle, still the potential to try and take that keep out, which is mega low. 11 kills to 1. A few more mercenary camps that they could go for too, but the Haka wants to be a Dragon Knight, apparently. So, yep, Muradin takes the shrine at the bottom, and the Haka is now making his way over. They are half a level, a little bit more than half a level away from 20. If they get 20, oof, they could maybe go for the core. Without it, it's a bit tricky against the 5-man. That keep will fall, and then it's just a question of what else can they get. We want to open a bit more up here. Misha gets stunned out and killed quickly. Okay, so that's Misha gone for now. And so is the keep, of course. But that was always a given. One Dragon's Breath and that thing is toast. Arrow again from Hanzo. Can't get the kill here, though. Dragonite is starting to drop a bit low, but they still want to have a minimum the wall. And they're going to get the wall. But the Dragonite is gone. 36 seconds were left. Dragonite is eliminated. Falstad with the flying thingy on 20. With the epic mount. Yeah, came in right away, and they take Hanzo out again. Now they want to go for follow-up kills. Samuro is low, barely makes it out. Joj, everybody's running. Everybody is about to die and running. So they have to decide if they want to try and go for the core here, or they're just going for the bottom keep. I mean, one of the two has to be it. They have level 20, insta-pick on epic mount, and then we had Falstad creating that kill opportunity for the team, and they followed up with at least a Hanzo kill. They couldn't get more than that. Another fly, and bye-bye Malfurion. Yeah, the old geezer with the green beard is gone. See you later, Boomer. And that is the keep at the bot lane that they're now getting. Muradin with another zoning Stormbolt here, making sure that Rexa doesn't move to the left side. And now that they have the fort, they say like, you know what? Or the keep. What about we go for the core after all and see if we can end the game here. Take the shield down, at least nibble a bit on the edges. Come on, boys, a little bit of damage at a minimum. Another gust. I mean, he really likes it. Those epic mounts that we're getting always lead to a kill. Hanzo hates them. Hanzo absolutely hates them. I mean, damn, son. That's now the second time that he gets killed with a play like this. We have now minions on the core, catapults on the core. The shield is gone. So is Johanna. And we are going to game number 5. We're going the distance in the series. And it deserves nothing less. Fantastic 4th map. The Raccoons with the victory on Dragonshire. Nicely done, GG. Okay, map number 5. The series pretty much demanded a map 5. Let's be honest about this. This series deserves a game 5. And we're going to Alterac Pass. So, some things will still stay the same with the ban patterns here. If you don't ban Chromie against Nano, then you're essentially just asking for trouble. So this is not going to change. The second ban for the Raccoons was essentially consistently the ban against Lucio. So we're not going to see that. We're actually going to get a Junkrat ban instead. So Lucio is open for once. Okay. Now we have a ban on Hogger. And what else are the Gremlins now getting rid of? First pick for the Raccoons here. with this being Aldrich Pass, there's also a chance that we're getting an Uberok again. And just sneak in the objective. But we're starting things off with an early pick into Blaze. So no Dehaka this time for Ubi. No Dehaka, no Zeratul, they go for Blaze here. So as usual, we have like 2 big questions for the draft, and that's is A, what is Scorch going to play? Are we going to get his Malfurion again? This series, honestly, not all that much. Brightwing is still up, and we could get it from him. As Rhaegar is also taken from Banana Age. Or by Banana Age. And, well, then the question is what Disciple is going to play. He got his Orphea, and he won with it. But we've only seen Orphea and Alarak. So, is it a deviation from those two, or we're going to get again... I would say, if anything, then it's probably going to be Orphea again. Sylvanas! And there's the Brightwing pick. Okay, so Brightwing for the Raccoons, and we get Sylvanas. We get the Banshee Queen. First time that she makes an appearance here. So they can try and push the map with that. Yeah, Muradin, Rhaegar on the other side. And what do they now ban? I mean, either main tank or you ban Orphea. That's pretty much it. I mean, what else are you going to get here? What else are you going to get rid of? And they're banning the tank. They're going for a Jojo ban. So Orphea is technically still open and could be claimed. But what is Lopaka then going to pick? What's it going to be for him? Muradin is already taken. Garrosh up. Diablo up. I mean, we're not running out of tanks anytime soon. But still, it's going to be interesting. And they ban out Tracing. Okay. Again, Overwatch. Prioritized when it comes to IPs. I actually kind of like that. So, for the red team. They got so close to winning the series, and then Dragonshire, again, that map was locked in like this by the blue team. After they lost, they immediately went Dragonshire. That was basically their trump card a bit, and they said, okay, we want to play here, and we're going to annihilate them, and then they did. So now we get Samuro again, and we get Genji. And Samuro on this map, they already tried him on Dragonshire, and it didn't work, but this is a much bigger map now, with more freedom and wiggle room for Samuro to really work. So, yeah, we have some similar picks to what happened on the previous one. With Hanzo this time banned, they also went for the little brother, they went for Genji. But for the blue team, as we're heading into Alderac Pass, our final 2 picks, Disciple, what's it going to be this time? They go for Cassia. Cassia and Tyrael. Tyrael Blaze. Potential double layer of protection with the Sanctification, or they go just full Judgment and try to be aggressive. But Disciple is playing Cassia for now. And that leaves us with a final pick for the final map. So which team qualifies directly for the playoffs, and which team is going to drop down into the lower bracket. I'm going to answer it now on Alderac Pass as the Gremlins go up against the Raccoons. And the final pick for game number 5 is Jaina. Burst damage. Alright. Jaina is in the house, and we're jumping straight into Alderac Pass. Game 5. Final map. The Raccoons on the left in blue with a Scorch on Brightwing. We got Disciple on Cassia playing Thunderstroke here. So trying to stack it up on Alderac Pass. Ubi is playing Blaze. We got Morenas on Sylvanas and Lopaka on Tyrael. And then over on the right side, the Gremlins after their recent loss on Dragonshire with Simply on Muradin. We get Banana H on Rhaegar heading into a totem build with Gavlo on Jaina. The Fingers of Frost for him. Sadath on Samuro, and Nano is playing Genji. So, there we go. Curious who's going to take it here. Sylvanas obviously wants to push. They decide on the bot lane. They want to take some of those towers down a notch or two and do exactly that. The rotation is coming, and they might have stayed too long after all. That's always the little gamble. Are they staying too long? Yes, no, and they did. There's the kill. So, easy kill on Sylvanas. Very good reaction by the Gremlins. That was really well done by them. And unfortunate, of course, for the Raccoons. They got damage in on those towers, but they didn't really overstay too hard. They took one of the towers down to 50%. That was basically it. But that was nicely done. Now, we have obviously the stacks coming together for Cassia, and this is also where she is going to try and capitalize a bit on the fact that we're having Samura on the other side, when she can, with all of the illusions that are popping out here. Can really try and help that a bit along, but we have 8 stacks for now, and we'll keep an eye on her for sure. But this is some easy stacking that she can theoretically at least get. Now, it always comes down to how many skirmishes and fights we do have at the end of the day here. But it makes things a little bit easier. So she's already sitting at 11 stacks, and they're breaking through that wall with ease. There's only 2 melees at the bottom of the map, so now the rest of the team is slowly coming in to try and help, but that's 1 tower gone, and the second one is dropping low too. So they're doing pretty okay here. And as long as we have these fights occurring for at least Cassia, that's going to be great. Jaina is going to benefit obviously from a few brawls too. With her baseline, you want to have that ice block here. If you can pull that off quickly, then it's going to make your entire game so much safer. So she's going to try and do that as quickly as possible. Deflection is in for Samuro. Top lane is currently Genji and Blaze that are fighting it out there. And with the objective now up, aka the camp, it's only one team that has taken it so far. So over here, no efforts have been made. Now, usually we're seeing very high priority on those mercenary camps, so the fact that the Raccoons just don't care about it is already interesting. It allowed them to push for structures a bit more aggressively. Oh my god, Sylvanas. No bad, girl. That was clutch. Morenas is able to get out. But this seems to be really a choice, where they're just saying, well, we don't want to waste our time on the camp. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to push for structures whenever the opponent is rotating heroes away from the lane to get their own. And at the bot lane, at least it worked. We'll see if that pattern repeats, or if this is just early game shenanigans that they're pulling off here. Blaze by now down at the bottom of the map, going up against Samuro. Yeah, and they're still pushing at the top lane. Now, one of the reasons why they can do this in the first place, if that's really the MO here, is of course the fact that they're running Sylvana, so they're using her to get structures destroyed, and this entire top lane wall is already gone. So, nicely done, well played, but here comes the red team. They're trying to get Jaina in a good spot to get the burst damage in. Rega's a little bit low, and he's down. Cassia gets the kill. And also a very, very nice number of stacks, thanks to all the aggression that we're seeing. 27 stacks, not even 4 minutes into the game, is fantastic for Cassia. So if they can keep that up, then they have a huge amount of damage that is going to come from her eventually. And they are pressuring the fort, so the objective is now up, but the aggression from Cassia and the blue team is quite something. They're doing very well here. Level 7 on both sides, which gives us Ice Flurs for Jaina. Yeah. Boss is also up in a minute, the two. Oh! Tactical pause! Simply is pausing the game right now. Yep, on Muradin, sitting here with his little Candy King, the Epstein skin, and as they're taking the camp over on the right side. It doesn't really seem like anybody dropped from the game, so I'm not quite sure what exactly is going on here. Maybe somebody has a food delivery coming up. In that case, please send a pizza my way too. Or Ferkburger. Oh, somebody like came in from Queenstown earlier into the stream and said he just got himself a Ferkburger, and ooh, would love one right now. Absolutely awesome. But yeah, so a bit of a 3-2-3 moment. And from the red team's perspective, I don't want to say that they go for the tactical pause here. I don't really think that they're going to do that. There's something happening. Either it's going to be somebody needs to go AFK real quickly, or it's some lag, but they still need to take a bit of a breather and really discuss this, because there is a lot of pressure. The Raccoons came into game number 5, and from the get-go, they tried to dominate the pace of the game, and they've been doing very well here. So they might not have taken a massive lead experience yet, but just the fact alone that they are pushing structures, taking walls down, and now damaging forts is already pretty big. So that's huge. Down at the bottom of the map, yeah, Blaze is also pushing a bit. Blue team is still dealing with the next camp. This is what they've been doing every time. So the camp has now been taken again by the Gremlins, and then they fall towards the middle, they take it out, defend against it, but they still have not gone for their own, as you can see on the minimap. So normally, as I said before, this is one of the most important camps of all, but they ignore it completely. Brightwing gets killed. So that's the next kill for the Gremlins. Brightwing taken out, and the rotation simply continues for the blue team. And they're trying to get slow damage in on that fort with the minion wave that comes through. And of course also with Tyrael providing the shield. And Jaina gets isolated, killed. Muradin has to jump out, and this should seal the fate of the topside fort. So 5 minutes in, and the first major structure is removed. Blue team is not quite out of the fight yet, but they are still sticking to it. It's a kill against Sylvana, so they paid a price for this. But Rhaegar's also low, and Rhaegar dies, and that's level 10. So this is a big win. Judgment gets used, and they're starting to get the damage in against Nano and Simply, as Cassia was not with them, but pushed the top lane out further. 38 stacks now, 6 minutes into the game. Extremely solid stacking from Cassia. So great for them. Both teams with level 10 abilities at this point, but it's really the Gremlins that are struggling the most. They have been going for the objective on the other hand. So this is where they can make up for some of this again. And it's kind of wild to see how the Raccoons are playing this. The Raccoons have essentially decided that they neither go for their own camp, nor are they going to make a big play for the first objective. So they gave that up. It gave them a fort. Now they just have to successfully defend. If they can do that, then they still maintain the lead that they've been playing for. So we'll see. Can start to burn this down quickly. Genji's top damage in the game, by the way. Second highest is currently Cassia, who's of course trying to catch up here and overtake the Overwatch. Oh, the Overwatch hero, but it's Jaina that dies again. Banana H tried for the heal, couldn't, and now gets murdered by Lopaka as he comes in and gets them a second kill. And even Muradin has to pop his avatar in order to survive here. And they come in with the rest of the team. Morenas is low and will likely fall. Yes. There's no more heal available here, but still the fight was a good one. They got Jaina killed first, and then Judgment was all that was needed to drop also Rhaegar. So 2 kills for 1 after Sylvanas falls. It's the 3rd time that Sylvanas has now been annihilated. And we have in total 9 kills in the game. Decent defense. Forts took damage, but they didn't lose any. So structurally, the blue team is ahead. They're ahead in kills, they're ahead in experience. And I think starting with the second objective, they are most likely also going to be more interested in taking the objective and not just pushing lanes. But of course, with Sylvanas, you can always try and push for the forts at a minimum. 51 stacks for Cassia, so she's doing okay here. Pretty positive development for them, and this could be a dangerous late game for the Gremlins if the stacking continues like this. There's level 13. On at the bottom of the map, Blaze against Samuro still, but that 4-man that's been rotating between lanes the entire game is just doing work here. Absolute work. There's also the Ball of Lightning trying to push them back. Judgment, Ancestral, and Gavlo is still fine as Lopaka jumps out with Tyrael. They forced the battle, they forced a couple of ults on this, and now they're starting to get back out there. But the wall has fallen. They rotate down to the bottom of the map now in an attempt to also take down Samuro, who just like flips around and is able to save himself. The rest of the red team is also eager to defend the bottom fort, of course. Be cautious here. Still, jet propulsion stun is in. Muradin is hit. Samuro comes in from the side, flanks into the back line and tries to get damage out. Specifically, of course, against Sylvanas. But they're going for Simply again, and Muradin is falling a bit here. So the objective is back up. Samuro could try and sneak that a bit, of course, with him popping some illusions. Hasn't done anything there yet, and they are taking more damage at the bottom of the map as the fort is getting dropped low. Damage output, generally speaking, 33,000 for Cassia. Top damage in the game by now, so she overtook Genji. And even in the rest of the team, they're looking good on the damage numbers. 30,000, for example, on Sylvanas. That's also super solid here. That's a great spot for the blue team to be in. And now, this late in the game, they're actually starting to go for their own camp. So Rhaegar is trying to take over on the right side. Samuro still attempting to be a bit of a nuisance here. But we have now the mid lane push ongoing. And yeah, 65 stacks for Cassia. She's looking good here. Jane hasn't done with the ice block yet. Once that she has Ice Block completed, targeting from Tyrael should probably take a step back. Like, he's been really aggressive against Jaina, but once that Ice Block is done, they should probably play this out a bit lower. Beautiful follow-up with a Wailing Arrow. I mean, that was just an absolute classic kill right there with an ult combo. Judgment into Wailing Arrow, and then Jaina gets eliminated. That's damage gone right there, and it, of course, is helping them to push the mid lane even more aggressively. But that was well done. That was very well done. And now they're focusing their attention onto the objective. But you can see it right here. I mean, Jaina already saw it coming, and Gafler realized what was going on. The Stormbolt of Muradin is too late to stop anything. And then as Jaina follows up with the Wailing Arrow onto the stun, that's just the end of Jaina. And Sylvanas followed up with the Wailing Arrow. Jaina's gone. And that is potentially even an objective. If not, then at least a significant lead on it. They're trying to defend this now. At the bottom of the map, we have Samuro pushing for a structure, though. And this is also pretty nice. So they are still getting good damage in on these forts. But the blue team is about to get the objective. But the fort is going to fall. So Samuro is starting to become a nuisance. He's really getting annoying here. And that was a big one to take out. So nicely done by them. Judgment again. This time they're targeting Muradin, and he's dropping low. Also, get the ult from Cassia out there for just a second too. But Jaina is now done with her quest. As Sylvanas has started solo on the boss. And, I mean, I don't want to jinx it here, but that looked for a second like she would fall. So they're trying to get that boss, and I don't really think that the red team knows it. Well, actually by now they do, because the objective has been taken, so they know exactly that the boss is being attacked. But they apparently are not really too eager to deal with it. The bottom fort has fallen, so they want to go for double play with the objective plus boss, but that gives the red team also a lot of time to defend, and they're already trying to do that. So right here, we have the mid lane defeated easily. At the bottom of the map, Samuro has zero problems taking the raid out. And it's all about the top lane right now. This is where the Sylvanas push is now headed. And Blaze will most likely make an appearance there too. And that boss is not even there yet. So they want that keep. They want to take the first armor shield off the core. And they have a very good shot at making that happen. That's a very, very dangerous push. That thing hits, and it hits hard. So Blaze is taking the fort out in the middle. Team is moving back since they realized, well, this one's gonna fall. They can't go for the core this early. Not with still 2 armor shields remaining. But Samuro was able to claim the fort, and now they're even getting Muradin. The Raccoons, they are controlling this. From the beginning, they've been aggressive. They've been trying to take full control of the game. And it's been working out extremely well for them. I mean, they were always pressuring the opponent. And now we have them in an experience lead. We have them in a situation where they just took the first armor shield out. Most of the forts are gone. Only one is still standing. And they're trying to change that by moving in with the second boss. Genji can take out the fort in the middle all he wants. But if they are not making a play against the bottom boss... actually, the fort is already gone. So it's already been destroyed. They don't even need the boss for this. So the only question is now, can they take the bottom keep too? Because if they do... then it's only a single armor shield on the core for the Gremlins. And that's always a total nightmare if that happens. And it very well could right now. So this is problematic for them. If they lose the second armor shield, then they are going to be in trouble. For sure. So we'll see if it comes to that. We got 84 stacks now by Cassia, which is in and of itself already respectable. But with Sylvanas, they can very well take that keep out. Samuro is starting to move over. Still a bit busy in the middle. Muradin is low. That doesn't help them either. We need somebody at the front here. Ice block now after Judgment. But Tyrael blocks the path with the Holy Ground. Beautiful kill. Saw the choke point. Used it perfectly. And now Muradin is dead too. They have everything going for themselves here. But look at that kill. Judgment came in, knew about the ice block, didn't care, blocks the path, they get the kill. Now 2 heroes are dead on the red team, and they can go for the core and end the game. The Raccoons, they turn the game again. They turn the series, and they are moving on to the playoffs as the Gremlins drop down into the losers bracket. GG, well played.